Shakim, G1 is back.
Yeah, I'm now waiting.
Welcome back, everyone. Trusted that you had a great discussion in your breakout rooms.
Yeah, the number is confusing. I just afraid that they tap the leave the meeting.
It happens, it happens. So for the people who are already back, when more people are back, we will go and we will start from area 1, 2, 3, 4 in sequence, and each group's representative will present their discussion points, and the timing is 2 minutes. At 1 minute point, the green light will show. 1.5 minutes, the amber light will show, and 2 minutes, the red background will happen. Thank you. We have a wonderful timer. Yeah, so please do pin the timer if you need the visual to help you to time yourself. And we are very close to having everybody back. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful group. I think now we have 56 of us back here to the main room. And shall we start from area 1?
A1 representative will be Imelda, the club president of Breakthrough Toastmasters Club.
G2.
No.
Oh, G2, I'm sorry. Did I rush? Oh, sorry,
Yes,
jump the gun a little bit.
G1 first.
My apologies. I always
G1.
want to be in front. My apologies. So G1 will. G2, sorry.
So
So G1 goes first, right? Or we wait for
Yes, G1. Who is speaking on behalf of G1?
the president of ITME.
Hi, I'm Ben, president of ITMA. Okay, so I have 2 minutes. All right, and just now I was invited to this group. Okay, I'm joining in with about 10 over the others. And two questions. What challenges are the clubs facing and what's the solution? And of course, we do have some very, very wonderful stories and testimonies. We have folks from Deutsche Bank sharing about certain things. We also have another club that's really very interesting because they are totally unrestricted and they are online fully, but of course their origins is from Division G. So they are a great club. So PPIO. So what happened? So what are the things that we are looking at and the solutions? So one of the problems that we have, I summarize into the 3M, MMM. The first M is about makan. All of us, when we come for this type of online meeting, the first thing we ask, so there's no food. Do you guys provide Grab food? No, I don't think so. So makan, we don't have that fellowship. We don't have that ability to have fun. The pantry, the juicy gossip, we don't have it. And especially for ITMA, my club, we really like to have it coming together and have fun, but we don't have it. Oh well, so that's a problem, makan. So what can we do? Let's wait for COVID to go away or get more booster shots. Let's see how. And the second one is about membership, and that's highlighted by the Deutsche Bank folks, Deutsche Bank. I hope I didn't pronounce it wrongly. And well, membership. Well, I guess it is a problem that is a bit hard to resolve. And of course, some members did mention, why not let's offer for free the membership fees and all those things. It causes a problem, but of course there are some negative connotations to that. If it's free, people may not come. So again, something. So well, not really. It's really hard. So what is the third M then? Which is related to the second M, which is membership. It's about motivation. So this is provided by our district director, Katie. She suggested that what can we do to excite? What can we find out? What are the things that we need? What are the things that we do care about? What are the things that we are passionate about? So it's about finding that passion, that common interest, and hopefully getting that motivation, and of course, increasing the membership. So in summary, we do have 3 challenges, and of course, our solutions is about the makan, the membership and motivation. So this is what we have in my breakout room, which I think it is what, G1? Okay, anyway, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
thank you, Ben, for the very fast and very precise sharing. And let's welcome G2, the presenter from G2.
Hi everyone, Imelda here from Breakthrough Toastmasters representing G2 Club. So a few challenges that we have discussed. One is for succession planning for the current officer role. How we're going to be able to sort of like do a succession for the next new term. So I think we suggested the solution would be to create a system for each of the roles so that it's easy to adopt for the next member to be able to follow through. Second challenge is some of the club members mentioned that there is hard to find a venue, like a physical venue where we can actually meet some of the members face to face. Trying some of the solution would be like to rent a venue and to approach some of the community clubs, CCs, and last result will be like, getting some members' condos to open up their function rooms or even perhaps their homes to welcome some of the hybrid meetings. Third one would be like one of our members mentioned that as a new club, or some of them are new members as well, and they're actually taking up the officer's role. So as new members, they're still new to the club and the whole system of Toastmasters, and yet they need to go out there and recruit new members. So kind of like sometimes it's a bit too fast for a new member to come in and take up these officer roles, and yet trying to convince other members to join when they themselves are trying to adjust and to learn as much about Toastmasters. So the solution would be like visiting other clubs and connecting with other members, fellow Toastmasters, and getting their support and like sharing, and also to attend our Division G's trainings and workshops that can be really useful to give them a better idea and a better understanding of the Toastmasters and how we can tap on each other within this whole division and each other's clubs. Fourth one would be some of us say that we've finding time to do the pathway. The members, we don't have time. Everybody are busy and we don't have time to do our pathways. So suggestions to find a solution is to actually schedule ahead and to sort of like book your slots and book your schedules in ahead. And also another solution is to perhaps if, let's say, members don't have time for that particular meeting, you can actually
Sorry, 2 minutes up.
Organize 2 meetings in a month. Yeah. And also visit other clubs. Okay, time's up, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's a lot to share, but it's only 2 minutes. Thank you so much for the great effort put in. And let's welcome from group 3, the representative.
Hello, I'm Deepshika and I'm from Dallas, Singapore Toastmasters Club, and I'm representing the discussion we had for the room 3 of Area G3 clubs. So the challenges that were discussed in our group was first the Zoom fatigue. So the problem that is faced is that the members are no longer now interested in Zoom meetings, and then there was a loss of membership wherein people want to continue if the meeting was a physical meeting, and then they are losing interest in terms of having a Zoom meeting. The second challenge is about filling up the meeting roles, because basically the exco is overwhelmed and members are no longer participating. And the third challenge is quite different, because like right now we have online meetings, and that has given us an added advantage to have higher members from different places, for example, Pasir Ris or other locations, so that people can join in online from any place. But however, considering that now we are improving on the COVID-19 situation, and we are looking forward to have physical meetings later. So how to continue the membership in that case? So the solutions that were discussed about this is to first have the flavor to your club, why people actually participate in the meetings, and have that portion improved for your club. And then what was suggested by James is that people will come, not whether it's a physical meeting or online meeting, it's because they enjoy coming to the meeting. Second thing is to have a system in place in terms of membership retention or filling up roles. One other suggestion was to have combined meetings in terms of, like, for example, we follow in Talos Toastmasters Club, we have once a month combined chapter meeting with another club. So it gives us an advantage in terms of filling up roles and also an exposure to members to present before other clubs. And the other part is to have a reward system in terms of for members, so that they actually have the motivation to participate in clubs. For example, there are like some $10 grab vouchers, etc. So that is all. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. This is a real test to our table topics because 2 minutes is really, really short. Yes, thank you so much. And can I welcome from group 4, Chime Young?
Hi, my name is Cham Young from Pongo Toastmaster Club. I didn't know we have two different clubs. One is corporate clubs, and the other one is community clubs. They face different problems, different issues, and different challenges. For corporate clubs, it's basically they are not inviting outsiders into the clubs. So I mean that within the clubs, there are a lot of challenges, a lot of issues. For community clubs, I mean, it's less strange compared to the corporate clubs. The main issues are basically the physicals and the virtual connection they miss. I mean that if you do a lot of virtuals, they get fatigued, the timing, no connection, the venue area are not there. So you don't see the connection to understand each of us. And also, some of the problem in timing is they're too long. So you will get to a DMU. I mean, the speakers get dragging for 3 hours. Today we have 5 hours. I mean, to me, it's too long, and it's not effective. And also, come to a state of boredom. The interesting part they are changing is if you can reduce the timing to more effective, like some of the foreigner club, they did it 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So people are more interested because they don't have the chance to speak. They are more eager to speak because their clubs are there, but time frames are not there. For time being, we have a lot of times, but we do not have enough people to join the clubs connection. And physically, I join a club, I like to see who I meet to, who I talk to, especially in community for connection. For corporate clubs, it's again different things, because if you're in a corporate, we do recruitment from the corporates. Within the interest, they nurture them. Corporate, I work extra, I don't work same pay. For community, it's different. So it's quite interesting to understand them. I'll pass it back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. It's very different. 4 different groups, we all have different challenges, and we share some areas of challenges, and hope we all have some concrete takeaways to implement and to improve in our 2022. And we shall move on to the next segment. I'm sure you already have certain questions after listening to our 3 outstanding presenters. Please do put in your questions and don't be shy. We're a family here in Toastmasters and we learn and grow together. That's why we're here. So do put in your questions in the group chat, or if you're really shy, you could private message me. That will work as well. Or you can unmute yourself to speak directly through all the each one of the 3 presenters. We have Terrence, we have Wiki, and we have James. They all shared their heart out for us to grow. Please do speak up or message me or in the group chat. And I will need to trouble Kim to pin the spotlight.
Yeah, I'm now pinning the speaker.
Thank you. And to get the balls rolling, I have a few questions. I've been taking notes. So maybe start from James. James, regarding to your sharing earlier today, just a question that I have that you shared about the moment of truth, and I was wondering, isn't it better to give the guests, like the guests that came to our meetings, some space to kind of sit in, relax, enjoy the meeting, instead of approach them right away and quote unquote harass them right after the meeting? Because you mentioned about maybe the club president or maybe the the exco people want to approach them and introduce ourselves to them. What's your view on this?
Thanks, Kiki. Actually, it's very true. Now, first of all, why do we want someone to approach, and why is it one designated person, the class president, no, the club president? Okay, the reason is the club president is one, if the guest who's coming is nervous, highly introverted, afraid to meet people, and yet willing to take that step, they need to find an anchor within the club meeting. And the best anchor would be the club president. Imagine, if you will, if this process is not streamlined and the members are very enthusiastic. Every single one see a new member, hey, come, let me talk to you. Now, which would be worse? The harassment by many or the fine-tuned harassment of one? Because you see, when the club president goes and speaks to that person, he can gauge, okay, how much of interaction is required, how much needs to be pulled back, how much needs to be given, and so on. And then when he passes the message to the person who is meant to chaperone this guest, it can be managed. So that is what I mean when we have one person to work to kind of invite and be a friend to that guest, so that there's that anchor there. Imagine your first time going to school, going to workplace, we're all ready and all that, but there's this sense of nerves. How grateful would we have been if we had someone who was there to be welcoming to us? No need to say much, just stand with us to say hi. If you need anything, I'm here. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Thank you, Kiki. Gentlemen, I leave it to you to share if you wish.
Terence and Vicky, would you like to add to that? Like, do you think? What do you think? Like, do exco members approach the new guests in the Zoom or in the physical meeting, or we have a designated person, or just leave them there for a while first?
Well, Vicky, you want to go first, boss? Okay, so AIA, right? What we do is that we have a designated person to do that. I think Kiki, of course, you know that, because as the VP, that's your job to find a designated person, right? Now, the reason why we do that is because it's easier that way. Now, when we had physical meetings, it's slightly different, because physical meetings, because we feed them, a lot more people came. So you can't have one designated person, we have a few designated people. And one of the people I should highlight was Gerald Yong, because we have a reception table and Gerald will always park himself there and he will ensure that somebody is assigned to it. Now, that is something for physical meetings. Now, the key thing is not just the follow-up during the meeting. Where most clubs probably fail is the follow-up after the meeting. The most important is get their contact and get someone to call them. Not immediately, a day or so and everything. How was your impression? How do you feel and everything? Now, what we do is that because ours is a corporate club, sometimes we don't take people unless you are with AIA. And what we do is we give members to other clubs. Now, it pays back. Ken Hill Toastmasters had a member who was with AIA, wanted a new club, and they recommended us. We have to recognize that when you help others, others will help you. We are not here to grow and then other people die. It doesn't work that way. Vicky?
Thank you very much, everyone. The question here is really about, should someone approach you first? Let's look at this concept. Now, just visualize, everyone. If you were to go to a country that you have never been to, would you rather be left and lost at the airport, left to your own devices, or would you rather a local show you around? You have the answer. A local who cares, who has the knowledge, who knows what to do, shows you around and shows you a great time in that country. Now, if you had a great time, would you want to visit that country again? Again, that's the answer. So between to be left alone and to have someone who knows the ropes, who shows the way and knows the rope, definitely having a designated person is a structure. Within Toastmasters, there's actually a structure for all this. This actually falls under the Vice President of Membership's duty. The VPM's role is two-pronged. Number one, to take care of current members. Number two, to welcome potential new members. Therefore, this is the VPM's role to actually make everyone feel welcome in different way, tapping on the skills and the systems of whoever you have during the EXCO meeting itself. So therefore, yes, you should have someone who is there to guide you through. Think about it. A person would spend 2 to 3 hours at a meeting, whether physical or online. If this person is left to their own devices to sort things out, do you think they are likely to come back again? Not really. So therefore, that interaction matters a lot. You need to make the person feel welcome. So we put ourselves in that situation again. Another example, you spend your precious 2 hours, pay precious money and time to watch a movie. Would you like that movie to show nothing? Or would you like that movie to show you something interesting? So that you hope for a sequel and part 2 and more and more. Okay, so therefore you have the answer. It is indeed important for social interaction. Yet many of us early on, you did claim that we want to get back to physical meeting, right? Each one of us, we are screaming out for social interaction. So therefore the answer is still social interaction. But remember, my dear friends, no man is an island. No man stands alone. Thank you.
Thank you. Very, very in-depth answers to the question. I think we have one question from the floor. Imelda, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi everyone, Imelda here from Breakthrough Toastmasters Club. Hi James. I think this question might go for all the three of our speakers. We mentioned like we are as a president, or we are not supposed to be like micromanaging, right? Because each of our officers already have their roles and they already are very clear what they're supposed to do and their tasks. So what happens if like some of the members don't kind of like do or perform or step up to do the so-called task? So how do we come in, and how can I come in and kind of like make them step up and do their role? And this is also the same thing. Reason being is always time sometimes, because I guess we all have our own other commitments, and Toastmasters is probably like one of the last few ones in the list. So how do we kind of like also not only the current club members, but also to be able to recruit and encourage new members to take up this kind of roles next year? Because I think a lot of times they find it that it's really time consuming to attend the chapter meeting and take up roles, and yet officers' role will be even more time consuming, and they kind of like back off, So any advice?
Shall we start with James? Thank you.
All right, no problem. Hi, Imelda. Okay. This question is not as simple as it seems. I think we all agree that it is super multi-pronged. There are so many ways we can handle this. So I will leave it to the leaders and the problem solvers to give the full detail, okay? But what I will do, right, I share with you how I handle it. Okay? So it's easier for me and give them something to do lah, since I start first, thank goodness. Thank you, Kiki. So here's what I do. Firstly, was the member pulled in, or did the member want to be an EXCO member? That was the first question I would ask. Because during my term, there were a couple who I didn't ask for. Just happened. And funny enough, or not funny enough, they were the ones who dropped out immediately after a month or so, when they realized the amount of work and diligence I expected. So that's one. Secondly, when somebody drops off and there is no one who is a number two, a second in command, what do we do? What I did, I took over. And I started grooming somebody else. I didn't look out for a number three. I wasn't far-sighted enough. Yeah, so I looked out for a number three to shadow me as I went through the roles with them. Now, why didn't I get my other EXCO members involved? Their workload is very heavy, from personal life and the club itself. So what I did was I managed the role. I put up a system in place And first, I shared it with the person who kind of fell out of it. And I told him, look, this place is still open to you. It is not a big deal. We are all adults here. You tell me when you're ready. This place is here for you because we all want to grow together. Yeah, so I had to help him understand that there is no shame in stopping for a while. There's no shame in that. Yeah, so I took over that role, and we realized over time that it was manageable for me. Okay, and because I had a number three who just came in to support me, and him went through this entire year doing the work that was necessary. Now, as to how to encourage, it's a tough question. Individuals face a lot of challenges when you want to encourage them to step forward. So for that, I would strongly urge to move on to Terence, who will handle this part. You're welcome, Terence.
Thank you, James.
Oh, this guy is the king of Tai Chi. That's why he's a teacher. This is where they learn this. Now, the thing is that I won't cover what James covered because he's done an excellent job. So I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. Okay. Now think about it this way. Let's take a step back. Why do people join Toastmasters? Ultimately, it's because they want to give voice to the voiceless, beginning with themselves. Everybody's got something to say. How many of us have ever been in a situation where we wanted to say something, but by circumstance or lack of confidence or lack of ability, we didn't say, we bite our tongue? It happens, right? In work, in family gatherings, in our social interactions, and that's why we join Toastmasters, to have the ability to speak. What people need to understand, why we have this club officer training, why we have all this circus, or some people say, which is not, okay? This is not the right understanding. There is no point learning to speak if you did not acquire the ability to command the attention of others so that you can say something. It is not what we say, it is what they hear. You are here to be appointment holders in meetings first, to acquire a sense of participation and responsibility. You're part of the process. When you're part of the process, you have the credibility to have a voice. And then you step up and you become an EXCO member. Because why? The reason why people learn to speak is leadership. That's the only reason. Think about it from human history. The moment one person could convince other people, sharing them a vision of something, and they all got together and did something, whether it's burn the neighboring village or build the pyramids, good or bad, that was rhetoric. What Toastmasters is about. I'm not asking you to go and burn neighboring villages, but to do that, you must be a leader, and leadership involves more than just speaking. If Toastmasters is only about talking and not about doing, then we will say that after all that was said and done, a lot was said and nothing was done. We are not that sort of organization. We are an organization of doers. And to do means that we must roll up our sleeves and get down the trenches sometimes. All of us, James, Vicky, and all that, we've done it. If we didn't do it, we wouldn't be able to give this session. None of you would turn up on a Saturday. They're just people who talk, but you know that we've done it. You've seen that we've done it. And when we step down and our time will come, the rest of you who take up will be people who have done it and now you can speak. So you tell their members, you're looking at the here and now. The first day is always difficult. The first month, the first season, the first session, the first everything, it's always a challenge. But if you don't do it, you will never grow into that role and you will never be the person who speaks with authority. That's how I think about it. Vicky?
Thank you very much for that question, Imelda. Actually, that question has several layers into it. The key issue is, for many people, we just look at the circumstances, that means the symptoms of things, but deep down, there's a lot of other triggering causes that are within that a lot of us didn't realize it. First of all, your first key question is about micromanaging. Number one, should you micromanage or should you not? This has to do with your leadership style and individual's leadership style. But in a general sense, think about it. If you were to look at, again, leadership, you must go back to the fundamentals. One of the purpose or function of leaders is to groom leaders. Okay? here's a big paradox of things. Listen carefully, my dear friends. If you are a leader and you turn out to be too busy, you are doing the wrong leadership. It is a wrong leadership. Effective leadership makes you more free, not more busier. Not busier. It is a paradox. It is a higher level of thinking, which is why, because everyone has that extra time, that's how any organization can grow. If you are always looking inwards, the organization is always trying to do firefighting, trying to solve problems. It does not leave anyone enough time or energy to grow or expand or reach out to other people. Now, of course, I'm playing the devil's advocate here in terms of what do I mean by that. A lot of people are a little bit surprised because many people do not master the skill of two key aspects of being a leader. Number one, understand the primary purpose of a leader is to groom future leaders. So that should be the first key thing, groom future leaders. The second point, what do you need to groom future leaders? You need two essential skills, the art of training, the art of delegation. Many people do not know how to delegate properly, which is why you will find that most of the time when someone is not performing, the instinctive thing is to step in to do the job for that person. Now, this is where I would like to advise leaders to take a step back. Again, back to the similar metaphor example. Again, if you see that little chick trying to pick open that eggshell, what would you do? You help the chick? No. You let the chick pick its eggshell, but you encourage that chick. So leaders, top leaders especially, are encouragers. Meaning to say, if the person is not doing, we guide the person, we train the person, but we do not do the job for that person. Then this person will learn on its own over a period of time. Because every time, if you do the job for that person, taking over micromanagement, you will solve the problem that moment, but you will actually create a bigger problem in the future over time because this person is not learning. So again, it's a short-term versus long-term far-sighted planning for things. So therefore, more details could be that. I could run a whole seminar on leadership just for this kind of a concept for that. Why top leaders are free, which is why you notice top corporate leaders, they spend a lot of time presenting, playing golf, and yet a lot of deals are done. There's a secret behind the whole gestures of it. Okay, so we need to have that shift of thought process. So let's spend time getting the person into the right mindset. The next level is regarding the concept of moving on or leadership succession. Let's put it in another way. Most of you, if you are at work at this moment, Imelda, unmute yourself. Imelda, yeah, thank you very much. Are you in a work corporate job? Are you working somewhere?
Yes, I am.
Is it okay if you tell me what's your appointment, what's your duty and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I work for the Foreign Government Office.
Okay, Foreign Government Office with a certain title, right? For example.
Yeah, doing trade.
Doing trade. Okay, so you are a trade. Let's pretend if a person is a trade assistant trade manager. Now the company says, in half years' time, I'm going to promote you to the trade manager. Would people say no or yes to that promotion?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, what you mean? People would say yes to promotion, yet here we are addressing problems that people are not willing to step up. What's the difference? The key difference is, for a lot of clubs in Toastmasters, they see Toastmasters as I am doing you a favor. This is exactly what I want to address early on with all these years. Many people see that stepping up is I'm going to be busy, but yet at the workplace, yeah, stepping up is going to be more busy. But how come you're willing to? See, many people, perhaps they look at extrinsic reward, maybe money or prestige, which is why in Toastmasters, we must go back to the values. We must readjust the way we craft the message of Toastmasters. It is not that you are doing the club a favor, my dear friends. By stepping up, you're doing yourself a favor. You say you want to get promoted. I don't mean you, I mean everyone. To those who say you want to get promoted in a corporate life, you're willing to take on more responsibility. How come in Toastmasters you're not willing to? All of us should look at Toastmasters as a reflection of our life rather than as an extracurricular activity. That's the reason. Because of the disparity and the two differences of opinion, that's why a lot of people do not see Toastmasters as a complementary part to our career. They see that as an external part. Therefore, by participating more in Toastmasters means my career will suffer. In fact, by addressing this will actually spin off to any other question that will come along. The lack of leadership, the lack of people willing to step up. we should readjust ourselves, go back and talk to our members to let them know by stepping out Toastmasters, you are equipping yourself to be ready for the next higher position so that your company will actually look at you as a person with experience. A lot of time people say, hey, I don't get experiences in work. You don't hire me. How do I get experiences? Hello, Toastmasters is a place free and full of experiences for you to acquire so that you can move ahead in your career or in your life. So there's lots of paradigm shift to be done on that. So let's go back and talk to our members, realign them back to the mode, to the mentality that Toastmasters is about grooming leaders. And they are preparing themselves for higher leadership in life by participating in Toastmasters. Okay, so there's a lot more, but I'll just summarize for now. Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you. Thank you all three.
Thank you, Imelda.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe we switch here a little bit to so the sharing was more getting people a new mindset to participate more. But the next question I received will be, some of my EXCO members feel burned out. So what can we do to kind of, help them or to mitigate this situation?
Okay, we'll follow the same format. I'm loving this format. So I'll start first, then I'll pass to Terence and then Vicky. It feels great. So what can we do to handle burnout? Hey, honestly speaking, from personal experience, right? If you want to be burned out, you are burnt out. It's always perspectives, isn't it? And as leaders, we cannot, I feel, okay, I may be wrong here, we cannot pretend to understand what another person is going through. We may empathize, we may sympathize, but to really understand what they're going through is a bit of a challenge. One, we only meet each other maybe once every 2 weeks, perhaps. We do not have the close communication that we do. One thing that I used to do is, again, a short quick fix. It's not a long-term goal because mental health is very important. I made club meetings enjoyable. I made the process of having those things done in the club fun. My members never felt that they were really alone. To use a very dreadful trademark, you never walk alone, right? Disgusting thing to say, but disgusting club, but a great thing to say, okay? It's a stalker's anthem. You always make sure that no one is alone. I think being there as a friend, even though you're in Toastmasters, helps a lot, and it helps certain members who were going through difficult times. As to whether work was done or not, now that's another thing. Do we have a safety net to get work done? Because I think we recognize, right? Some things are immediate and urgent, and some things are not so immediate and urgent. That 4-sector thing, right? And what we need to understand is, as leaders, we need to be able to differentiate and support as much as we can. If it was a brother, it's different approach. If it's a member of a club, it's a different approach. So I'm talking from a club member's approach. I'll be there as a friend, I will support, and we have that spirit of supporting and friendship within the club itself. And we may not understand what that person is going through, but the person just needs to know that they are supported. I think as an adult, as a club member who doesn't have much inroads into that member's life, this is the most that is kind of permitted, because it's mental health. Yeah. Terence, give us a more in-depth one, and then we leave the really in-depth one to Vicky.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I love my role, man. This is fun.
Okay, let's think of it this way. Because you see, the thing is that we always use terms without considering what it really means. And we don't do that means we do not understand the implications. Now the question is, why are people burnout? What exactly is burnout? It's a term we all throw around. Burnout as a psychiatric or psychological condition doesn't actually exist. What does exist is stress. What does exist is demoralization. So when club members tell you they're burnout, what they actually mean is they're demoralized. They're stressed, they have other things that they feel are more important, and the Toastmasters program is taking time away from things that matter more. So the question we need to ask is, what about the program that has ceased to be relevant to them, that they are going to throw it aside? We need to have that conversation, reconnect with them. We need to look at our meetings. Let's be honest. Okay, I visited 160 clubs because I keep track of all the clubs I visit this term. A lot of meetings are not up to standard. They're boring. I'm not talking about clubs in District 80. I do training all over the world. Clubs as far away as the US, India, Hong Kong, China, I've been there, okay? And the thing is that a lot of times, we, especially the senior Toastmasters, we are guilty of that. We are self-indulgent. We talk too much. We talk too much about ourselves. We don't bring other people into the conversation. This is our mistake, our fault. If we want to be leaders, we need to be inclusive. That means when we do our programs, members need to feel that they are stars of the show. That's number one. Number two, when we do meetings, our meetings must be succinct and they must be efficient. That means if you can say in 5 words, don't use 10. If you can say in 3 words, don't use 5. That's number two. And number three, people need to feel empowered. You're running a program, you're creating a program sheet for your meeting. It is not an administrative exercise. It is a responsibility. And for them to feel responsible, they need to feel empowered. Some clubs, basically the president tells the VP, this is what I want, blah, 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 this is who I invited and this and that. It happens. That's not management. That's delegation and abrogation of responsibility. So if let's say you're the VP and you need to do the program, then you need to feel that there's a conversation with you and the members. If you're always chasing the members, then there's something wrong with how the exco conveys the thing. If your members themselves don't feel that, there are some clubs, the same people have all the speaking slots, a lot of people don't have speaking slots. People are burnt out. They're not part of the process. So let us look beyond these terms and see what exactly is that burnout. Are they demoralized? Are they disenfranchised and discredited and discarded and discounted? Do they feel unworthy and unloved? Do what James does. Have a conversation with them. Start with there first. The simple thing sometimes best. You cannot give a speech to a club of 20, 30, 40 people if you're unable to have an honest conversation with one person. Vicky?
Thank you very much. In this case, the issue is very much also about ESCO burnout, and I'd like to address that. Meaning to say, at this moment, for many of the clubs, right now, 6 months into the term, you'll notice that some of your ESCO members are not turning up for even ESCO meetings or chapter meetings. You'll find that people give different excuses and projects are not done, events are not done. Where does that happen? Number one, it happens with, on top of what the other two trainers has mentioned, it also happens with the lack of regular communication. And that goes back to the fundamentals I've mentioned. Do you have a regular chapter meeting? I apologize. Do you have a regular ESCO meeting first? That's right. You need to have that regular ESCO meeting so that you can feed off each other's energy. You can keep each other posted. The key idea is not to wait until burnt out. The key thing is to notice the signs of burnt out before it happens. It is only through our regular interaction and communication then we can notice. Because the member, for example, this EXCO, if he or she is in charge of a major project, this person is showing signs of not updating you or not interacting with you fast enough, you can detect it. The president can detect it, or the EXCO can detect it of each other. Then you can cover up for each other or can reduce the workload if you need to do that. That's one key area. The lack of regular EXCO meeting is usually one of the key causes of it, of burnout. Then everyone's left to their own devices. That's one. The second thing I did mention, again with my pointers, I mentioned, get the members involved. In Toastmaster structure, if you look carefully, none of it is so massive and humongous that everyone will be so drained and devastated at the end of it, unless you are aiming for major projects. But in Toastmasters, you are not required to do that unless you want to. Therefore, if you get the members to be involved, everyone can feed off each other's task. The key concept here, or the key tip, is to create subcommittees. I use this. In the past, in the other club, we have got 100 over members. We've got major subcommittees as well. And each of them take on different members. And when each of them take on different members, the members are involved. The leaders, the EXCO themselves, actually become supervisor. They don't train themselves for executive skills. They train themselves further, management, decision-making, policy-making skills, and supervisory skills. Therefore, if you want to think big, get members involved right on the get-go. Let them know that this is a leadership organization. Therefore, you learn by doing. You don't have to present your first project yet if you're not ready, but maybe you can start off by being a listener. How about I allocate you as an accountant? How about you come under the vice president committee? In case the rest of you have not read your leadership manual, the vice president of education is actually the chairman of the VPE committee. The VP membership is actually the chairman of the membership committee. The VPPR is the chairman of the VPPR committee. So there's actually a committee. There's actually a support system inherent within Toastmasters that's helping each other to prevent burnout or overloading. The key question is, do you first, number one, know them, or do you know how to utilize them? If you're not too sure, ask for more advice after today through your area directors as well. This is where the first step we can take on, and then we can provide you details for that. So get the members involved so that everyone gets to share the workload. Remember, again, it's back to the skill of delegation and training. So we train our members, we delegate to them. Then guess what? When it's time to look for the next batch of leaders, you already have them ready 6 months ahead. So therefore, a lot of issues are being resolved when we understand this whole concept of things. Okay. So maybe Kiki, let me just quickly address on a very common issue first that I've constantly heard. Okay. So here's a key thing. Let's talk about I'm too busy for Toastmasters. Question. Why aren't you too busy for the job being assigned to you at work? Why don't you tell a boss, you give me this job, right? I'm too busy. Nah, don't give it to me. But yet you accept it. So what's the key issue? Again, is the equivalence. The next concept I want to put forth is, if you were to listen to a lot of all these excuses or reasons given by people, is that it seems to appear that Toastmasters is taking away time from your core activity. But yet you join Toastmasters to perform better, maybe as a speaker, as a leader. So here's a quick paradigm shift that I'd like to share with everyone. Listen carefully. Do not treat Toastmasters as a hobby to them. Do not tell them that it's a hobby. Do not tell them, even though we tell them it's your own pace, self-paced learning. But the real act or the art of learning is work. Therefore, Toastmasters does require work. You think about it. Toastmasters is work. If you do not work, you do not learn. The body will only learn through working. Again, what example I can give it to you? Gym. If you jog or run or go to the gym every now and then when you're free, you think you can get fit? No, you will not. So therefore, the muscles within us needs regular working. So the key concept is consistency, regular work. Therefore, Toastmasters is work. If you don't work, you do not learn. And if you do not learn, you do not improve. Then you tell us and say that Toastmasters don't work, then you drop out.
Thank you.
You understand this? Yeah. So this is the paradox and the paradigm shift that I like to suggest that we create in the culture for our club. Go back and tell them tactfully, gently, Toastmasters requires commitment, work from you, but we can manage it. Let's help each other and support each other. It's the same reason. Your family can be very far away. You know, maybe you stay very far away, but your family is sick. Why would you still spend time traveling to visit them? Because you're committed. So the real act is not the action, it's a commitment, it's a sense of accountability, the values, the sense of maybe family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Terence and James. Wonderful and very comprehensive sharing from the panel. I think this Q&A is suitable for new ExCos, existing ExCos, and future new ExCos incoming. So wonderful sharing. Thank you very much. And now at this juncture, we would like to invite the District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Katie Cole, to give us a few words of encouragement.
All right, thank you, Auntie, and very good evening to our members at Division G. Okay, I really have to say today our three trainers have given us insights. Okay, not only about the clubs, the leadership succession, problem solving, but the message that I hear from the Q&A, the change in your mindset, ways to revitalize your club, how to prevent burnout. I would say it really is a change in mindset, because you first need to be able to take care of yourself to prevent the burnout. I am going through a phase of maybe burnout, also burnout, but when I come to Toastmasters meeting, when I come and attend events, I find my energy back. In the breakout session, I did mention that you need to find that passion. What makes you, what energizes you? It could be a cup of coffee in a day. It could be comfort food. It could be just bonding with friends, a chit chat, go hiking, whichever. There's always something that will pick up your energy. It can be just you can just laze around whole day watching television. To make a club meeting interesting, it's not just about playing games. It's not just about having table topic session and nothing else. It's about finding a common theme that can interest your members to come up with project speeches that revolve around the topic. It could even be something as simple as like Harry Potter, and then you have just your whole meeting speeches, what you can get from that movie, because it can be very childish, superficial, that is something that you just off, but it could be something more in-depth, more philosophical, and what really touch your heart. I will not say that the Toastmasters program whereby leaders are made and you have to know your responsibility, you have to understand how to delegate jobs, but you have to know there is a timeline. You can delegate job, but there is a timeline, and you sometimes will need to take action and not wait for others. So the flexibility is there. You have to adapt and know when to change your method. In Toastmasters program, there's this understand a communication style, understand a leadership style, because all these things that we do is part of the process of learning. And if we cannot apply what we have learned or what we have been through, then all this is nothing. I still have to encourage everyone, step up as a leader in the club. Be an area director, join the district as a district leader. The nomination closed on 10th of January. So I do hope that interested parties, interested members send in nomination and be the leaders of district ED. Back to you, TMD.
Thank you so much, Kathy, for the passionate sharing. Thank you for the words. And without further delay, we are good on time at 5:55. Please do stay for the announcement and the certificate of appreciations. This meeting is so smooth because this team of people behind the scenes, they're wonderful. Now I will hand over to Margaret, Division G Director, for the announcements.
Thank you, Kiki. All right, my announcement, can I close this slide first? Wonderful afternoon to all our club officers. Thank you for staying. At this point in time, we are still 60 strong, right? I can't see my screen. Yay, thank you. Now, amongst you are the leaders of tomorrow. Amongst you will be the Toastmaster of the year of this term. I'd like to bring to you, give you a heads up, the climax, the grand finale for Division G will be the Achievers Day happening on the 11th of June, 2022. On this day, we will recognize individuals as well as clubs that have stepped up and performed that has excelled, that has made a difference to each and every one of our lives. In the next 6 months, we will identify individuals that have made significant contributions to your club, as well as to the division and the district at large. Who are we talking about? We will be nominating the candidates for the area Toastmaster of the Year, one from each area from G1 all the way to G4. And from there, we will also recognize the Toastmaster of the Year for Division G. Who are these people that has made a difference in your lives? Dedicated individuals that have shared their skills and knowledge, and most importantly, their time with you. That's made a difference. Now, as a club, as in a corporate setting, you will also be recognized for your corporate efforts. We have on our recognition awards, the Super Club of the Year. That's number one, the first one, Super Club of the Year. The second award, Membership Achievement Award. The third, Rising Star Award. And the fourth, the Most Improved Club Award. Now, there are a list of qualifications to achieve these awards. Speak with your area directors. They'll be happy to furnish you. And they'll also be coming around to the clubs to share with you the criteria and how you can submit your nominations. I look forward to your nominations, and the nominations will close on the 15th of May, 2022, so that we have time to collate all the results and credit these awards to you by the 11th of June. That's the first announcement. The second announcement will be the upcoming Zoom meeting, which is a part of the Master Series, a sequel to the Master Series. This is a collaborative workshop between Division S and Division G. Division S is spearheading this particular workshop with Hamza, conducting the Advanced Mastering Zoom workshop. In the earlier rendition, or rather the earlier segment, he went through the basic skills of running a Zoom meeting. At this advanced workshop, he will share with us how to generate reports like today for today's meeting. How do we generate the meeting room links? How do we conduct the breakout rooms, generate reports at the end of this meeting so that we know who registered and who attended and for how long. These are the pre and the post meeting, Zoom meeting skills. A lot of clubs struggle to find trained Zoom master. This is a platform for you to learn even more. Now I'll hand the time to Terence to speak about the Leadership Incubator. Over to you, Terence.
Thank you very much, Margaret. A very good evening, everybody. I'm going to make this short, sharp, succinct. Now, for those of you who have attended, we've had 4 sessions of the inaugural Executive Leadership Incubator. Now, this is the first program in Toastmasters International ever. We've checked, there's never been a program like this. And what we have done is we've got people who are leaders outside of Toastmasters, CEOs, CFOs, military leaders. These are our Toastmasters in District 80 who are leaders in their field to talk about leadership and how to apply those skills in Toastmasters, but more importantly, how to take what we learn in Toastmasters and apply outside of it. Because if whatever we do in this program cannot be used in the real world, people will leave. Now, session number 5 is going to be different. Session number 5 is not just a recap of everything we've done, but we are also inviting the other Margaret Page, President of Toastmasters International, to attend, and she will share with us a bit about the direction and leadership of Toastmasters International and where we are going to go from here, in terms of where you can take it as members from there next time. Of course, we cannot invite Margaret Page without having our district director there as well. And of course, our division director, Margaret Loh herself. So this will be a gathering of leaders. And if you want to be in that company, if you want to take this opportunity to understand where Toastmasters can most benefit yourself and your members, we will send out the invite. I think Margaret will handle it. And then what will happen is, Margaret Loh, not Margaret Page. Our division will handle it. And after that, we will send out all the details for all of you. Over to you, Margaret.
Thank you, Terence. We will now move on to the appreciation for all our trainers as well as the appointment holders. A token of appreciation is in the mail. Very nice ones. Who do we have first? Okay, we'd like to appreciate Distinguished Toastmaster Vicky Tay for his enduring and endearing presence with us at Division G. Wiki has been the division advisor since the inception of Division G, and it's been a good 5 years. We appreciate your time, your wisdom, and your insight on many issues, in particular in the area of training and COT. Thank you. Let me see the certificates at the same time. Thank you, Zoom Master. We'll take a quick shot. Everybody smile. Thank you, Wiki. Next up, we have Distinguished Toastmaster James Clifton. Thank you, James, for your time, as well as the many anecdotes that you share with us. You have showed us that whatever you have walked the talk. Whatever that you share with us, you have demonstrated that it works and it can be applied in a real life club, and Nee Soon East is testament to that success. Thank you, James. Thank you. Are we good, Zoom Master? I'm getting a bit stiff. Okay, last but not least, Distinguished Toastmaster Terence Nunes. As usual, Terence has been instrumental in spearheading the leadership incubator training, and he's given us a platform for all of us to learn from the various leaders within Division G, as well as from the District 80 leadership members panel. Terence, are you in the room? Well, good to have you back. Smile, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. For the appointment holders, Bharati ready. Always ready and always on time. Thank you, Bharati, for your time and for your efforts as the timer this afternoon. Thank you for reminding us and keeping us all in check on time.
Thank you, Margaret. Thanks for the opportunity, Arisa.
Thank you. We also have the next Kiki Tai, the lovely Kiki Tai, for being the Toastmaster of the day. Can you see the glow on her face? And it's not Korean makeup. She's very blessed at this time, and we're expecting a baby in the year of the tiger. Congratulations. And of course, how can we have a Zoom meeting without a Zoom master? He's the man that made this meeting happen on time, with the room open, with the breakout rooms set up, all of us in and out of the room in an expeditious manner, and back to the main room, and to have all our lovely faces captured in the photographs. Pia Kim, can you spotlight yourself so that we can have a picture? Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Pia Kim. And of course, how can we have an event without the organizing person, the organizing chair? Arisa. Smile, Arisa. I know you always have that smile on your lovely face. We'll take a screenshot. Smile. Thank you, Arisa, for your time and efforts to put the COT2 in place.
Thank you.
Now
Thank you.
all our club officers have been trained. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you so much. Arisa, would you like to do a closing address as the organizing chair?
I will do the closing address, Kiki. Thank
Yes,
you.
I hand over to our Division G director to do the closing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Fellow leaders, delve deep into your souls. Manage with your head, but lead with your heart. You have learned much today, but let not your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. You are our action heroes. In closing, I would like to thank District Director Kathy To, District Finance Manager Nora B for gracing this event, and the lovely Kiki Tai, Zoom Master Pia Kim, timers, as well as all our panel speakers this afternoon for making this event a success. Have a lovely second half to your term, and Happy New Year, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Good job.
Voila.
One, yeah, we make it.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spectacular
So much,
turnout.
everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for make it
you.
happen.
Thank you,
Thank
Arissa.
you. Thank you so much for all your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Imelda, please give me a tinkle soon.
Yes, please come and visit us, Margaret.
Please, please. Let's connect. Let's connect. I'm so
Sure.
looking forward to see you and to meet your club.
Will do.
Yeah. Have a blessed
Bye,
year
everyone.
ahead. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Boss, no debrief or anything, we can ciao,
Arissa got debrief?
Huh? Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Nothing. Can go already. Can go
So you
already.
want to go for
Okay,
dinner already?
bye. That's why. Tired.
Bye bye.
It's been a long afternoon.
Yeah, we make it.
Okay,
Woohoo!
see you guys.
Congratulations to everyone. Yeah.
Bye.
8th of January, what a start.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you were wonderful, Arissa. Okay, part 2, we will sort it out.
Yeah,
Go
later
and
we
enjoy
sort.
your weekend.
I will pull out the report for you and then make it nice first and then I update you.
Will.
Yeah,
Thank
together
you,
with the
thank you.
picture. All right.
I trust you
Thank you
will.
so much.
Fabulous. Thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Vicky,
Thank you,
Vicky,
Kim.
thank you so
Okay.
much, Bharati.
Yeah, I will end the
thank
meeting
you.
now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye bye.